It feels like there are two different people inside your head. One of them makes ambitious financial goals, creating budgets and planning for the future. The other one seems to take over at the worst possible moments, making impulsive purchases and undoing all your progress. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's a civil war and you're losing. You've been told the solution is more discipline, more control. But that's like telling a soldier to simply try harder in a battle where the enemy has the command codes. The fight isn't won with brute force, it's won by understanding the system of command. Your financial life isn't a test of strength, it's a reflection of a system. The advice you've received about budgeting and tracking expenses fails because it only addresses the symptoms, not the cause. It's like trying to fix a crooked tree by taping its branches straight. The real work happens at the root. The financial habits you fight against are not random. They are direct orders coming from a hidden headquarters. For years, you've believed the problem is your behavior. You blame yourself for not being better, for not having more control. But what if your behavior is not the problem at all? What if it's the perfect, logical, and unavoidable outcome of the true program that's running your life? What if your actions are flawless for the wrong mission? This is the central secret of personal finance that no one talks about. The state of your bank account is not a measure of your intelligence or your discipline. It is a perfect mirror reflection of a single, powerful force that dictates every choice you make, often before you're even consciously aware of it. That force is your financial identity. It's the invisible story you tell yourself about who you are in relation to money. And the unbreakable law is this: your financial reality can never, ever outperform your financial identity. You can't fix your money until you see the blueprint for the person you believe you are. What exactly is a financial identity? Think of it as your internal constitution, the set of rules and beliefs that govern your financial citizenship. It's not what you think. It's who you believe you are. If you believe, deep down, that you are the kind of person who is always in debt, you will unconsciously find ways to create debt. Your brain craves consistency above all else. It is a machine designed to prove your deepest beliefs true. If your identity is that of someone who doesn't deserve wealth, getting a large bonus will create immense psychological tension. Your brain will then work overtime to correct this inconsistency by triggering behaviors that get rid of the money. This explains why willpower always fails in the long run. When you use willpower to save money, you are creating a direct conflict with your identity. You are acting like a wealthy person, but you still believe you are a broke person. This conflict is mentally exhausting. Eventually, your identity wins. It always wins, because it's easier to return to who you believe you are. Consider the lottery winner who goes bankrupt in 5 years. We judge them, but they are a perfect example of this law. Their financial reality changed overnight, but their financial identity, built over a lifetime, did not. They were a broke person with a lot of money, and their brain worked tirelessly to resolve that contradiction by returning to its default state. Conversely, a self-made millionaire who loses everything often rebuilds their fortune. Why? Because their financial reality became inconsistent with their identity as a wealth creator. Their brain, seeking consistency, drove the behaviors needed to close that gap. The money is just a symptom. The identity is the cause. It is the thermostat, not the temperature. So the most important financial question you can ever ask is not how do I make more money? It's who am I? Until you can answer that, you are merely a passenger in a car, being driven by a script you didn't even know existed. But how was this incredibly powerful script written in the first place? Your financial identity wasn't chosen. It was absorbed. It began in childhood, built from fragments of conversations you overheard. If your parents constantly argued about bills, your brain might have coded a core belief: money equals conflict. This single belief becomes a foundational brick in the architecture of your financial identity. Every significant emotional experience with money adds another brick to this structure. The shame of not being able to afford something your friends had, the joy of your first paycheck, and the freedom it represented. The anxiety of your first student loan statement. These are not just memories, they are data points your brain used to build its model of the world. Society and media then reinforce this construction. Advertisements don't just sell products, they sell identities. Buy this car and you will be successful. Wear this watch and you will be powerful. These messages are meticulously crafted to fuse your sense of self-worth with consumption, strengthening the identity of a consumer rather than an investor. Your identity solidifies into a series of I am statements. I am the kind of person who is always broke before payday. I am not a math person, so investing is not for me. I am a hard worker, so I deserve to treat myself. These are not objective truths. They are the operating principles of your identity, and they run on autopilot. The danger is that this entire structure is invisible to you. You don't feel the influence of your identity, you just feel like you. The decisions feel like your own free choice. This is the illusion. Your choices are free only within the confines of the prison built by your past beliefs. You are freely choosing your preferred cell. But here is the critical point. What was built can be dismantled. What was learned can be unlearned. The first step to escaping a prison is to realize you are in one, to see the walls. So how do you diagnose the specific invisible beliefs that are holding your finances hostage? How do you map your own prison? To diagnose your financial identity, you must become an archaeologist of your own mind. The first step is to uncover your earliest money memory. Don't judge it, just observe it. What was the feeling? Joy, fear, confusion, shame. That emotion is the cornerstone of your entire financial belief system. It's the first law you ever learned about money. Next, complete this sentence. People with a lot of money are blank. The first word that comes to mind without filtering reveals your deep-seated association with wealth. If you said greedy, unethical, or unhappy, why would your subconscious mind ever allow you to become one of them? It would be a violation of your moral identity. Now, answer this. If I had $10 million, the biggest fear I would have is blank. This question bypasses the fantasy and exposes the perceived downsides of wealth according to your identity. Fear of losing it, fear of being judged, fear of becoming a bad person. Your brain actively protects you from what you fear. Examine your language. Do you say, I can't afford it? Or, I choose not to spend my money on that? The first is the language of a victim, an identity of scarcity. The second is the language of an owner, an identity of choice and control. Your words don't just describe your reality, they create it by reinforcing your identity every time you speak. Finally, look at your financial heroes or villains. The people you admire or despise for their financial behavior reveal your own internal values. The person you admire represents the identity you aspire to, and the person you criticize often represents a trait you fear within yourself. They are mirrors reflecting the hidden parts of your own identity. By answering these questions honestly, you are no longer the prisoner. You are the warden, walking the halls and mapping the layout of your own prison. You can see the flawed logic, the outdated beliefs. You have the blueprint. Seeing the system is the first and most critical step. Now, you can begin the work of rewriting your laws. So we've established the fundamental law. Your money must obey your identity. We've seen that this identity isn't a character flaw, but a piece of software, built from your past experiences and beliefs. It runs on autopilot, and any attempt to fight it with willpower alone is destined to fail because the brain's primary drive is to maintain a consistent sense of self. The most powerful shift you can make is to stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "Who do I want to become?" Instead of trying to force yourself to save 10% of your income, focus on becoming the type of person for whom saving is a natural, automatic behavior. You don't try to be this person, you simply are. This is the beginning of true financial control. It's not about spreadsheets, It's about self-awareness. It's not about restricting yourself. It's about rewriting your own story. You now have the diagnostic tools to see the invisible script that has been running your life. You can finally stop fighting the symptoms and start healing the cause. But as you start to build this new identity, that of a conscious, deliberate person with money, you'll immediately run into another invisible law. It's a force that seems to punish progress. The moment you earn more money, this law ensures that your expenses mysteriously expand to consume it, leaving you feeling like you're running in place. This isn't a failure of your new identity. It's a fundamental principle of resources known as Parkinson's Law, which states that work and expenses expand to fill the time and money available for their completion. Unless you build a specific system to counteract this law, your financial progress will always stall, no matter how much your income grows. Understanding your identity was the first step. The next is to build a fortress around your wealth that is immune to this law of expansion. To see exactly how this invisible force works and to get the blueprint for the automated system that defeats it, click on the video you see on your screen right now.